AskReddit by Fragmented Rooster. Retail workers, what's the dumbest thing you've had to explain to a customer? Why are you shut tomorrow? UHH, because it's Christmas Day? But what if I need something? You're in the store now? Just buy it now? But I don't need it now. Comma. OMG, a while back I tried teaching my wife how to drive a standard transmission. The Costco parking lot on Easter Sunday seemed like the place to practice driving. That year, Easter happened to fall on 3/31. We got accosted by some old lady who wanted to know why Costco was closed. She kept yelling at us that her coupon said they were valid through 3/31, so it was false advertising for Costco to be closed on 3/31. I can't remember how long she yelled at us about it, but she refused to accept that neither wife nor I worked at Costco, so we didn't have anything to with closing the store or sending her the coupons, and we certainly didn't have the power to open the store for her, lol. It smells like dirt because it's a greenhouse and that's where we plant the plants. Also, sun loving means it loves the sun. Walks out of the restroom. Hey, it smells like shit in there. I didn't make your drink wrong, Amy. You ordered a large hot drink, and immediately after paying the barista put out a small cold drink and yelled Jennifer. Then, Amy, you picked it up and took a sip before realizing it was not your large, hot drink. Shift lead sent me on break before I had a chance to fully explode. Oh, no. I've seen this in the wild. That if you tell the self-checkout no, I don't want my receipt, it won't print out your receipt. I work it and had a new printer installed in a unit clerk's office. She thought it wouldn't be funny to tell everyone the first day that the printer was voice controlled for making copies. Great fun to watch. Had an older, though not senior citizen, man who was 100% certain that was stealing money from his bank account because it kept showing $100 charges to the ATM at our location. After a series of questions, he stated he sends his son in to pick up his prescriptions and gives him his debit to pay, pointing out to him, from his own bank statement, that the $100 charges match the dates of the prescription pickups made him only more emphatic that someone from the store was using his card to steal his money. Even pointing out that his bank statement specified the $100 as coming from an ATM did nothing to sway his mind. He stood at the front door staring at us for 20 minutes before finally leaving. Sorry dude, your kid's a dick and you're an idiot. I can't fix either of those. I can't fix either of those. LMAO. Back when printers at home were rare, I had a woman come into my store asking for t-shirt transfer paper. I explained to her multiple times how to use them. Print on the paper, then pin to shirt, then iron. 30 minutes later she came back with the printer and paper wanting a refund because the shirt got stuck in the printer. That watermelons don't grow on trees. And this was back in the days before these personal-sized seedless watermelons, back when they were like 20 pounds. A woman was complaining that all of the watermelons were flat on one side and kind of yellow. I told her that was the side that was on the ground. She looked angry and surprised and asked, "What do you mean, on the ground?" like I was admitting to some secret that we leave the producing sitting on the ground out back, or something. Ha. This is hilarious though. A woman tried to tell me yesterday PO boxes no longer exist, lol. I didn't even bother. I was just like, oh, very strange. Haha, you've finally evolved into the retail worker's final form. Complete apathy. I spent 20+ minutes arguing with a middle-aged woman trying to return her XXL stack of men's underwear, against policy once opened. I explained that if her husband had a 32-inch waist like me, she needed to buy him medium-size underwear. She eventually and angrily shouted, "Look, he's got a huge cock and he needs XXL pants for it, but these keep falling down when he wears them." She would not accept my explanation that the tag size related to his waist, not his junk. She raged out of the shop, leaving the stack of pants behind. So, I have a 32-inch waist and buy L or XL boxer briefs, not because I have a giant horse cock, but because I have a giant ass. Medium underwear absolutely crushes my nuts, despite what the sizing guide says. That being said, by the time you're buying your own underwear, you should know what size you need. This is sort of the opposite of what you are asking, but I once tried to buy some model rocket engines from a big box retailer. The cashier was prompted to ask if I was 15 years old. I answered that I was, in fact, 27 years old. The cashier said, "I'm sorry, I can't sell these to you unless you are 15. I asked to speak to a supervisor and we got things straightened out. That's a special kind of special. Why is the front of my dishwasher blue? Did you remove the protective film? I worked the returns desk at IKEA for a few years and had a customer return a range exhaust hood because they ordered stainless and received a blue one. I called the kitchens department because it was a special order item at the time and happened to ask them if we even sold it in blue, which it turns out didn't exist. That's when I opened the box and showed them the peel. That's also when he got really pissed that this was the second unit and they'd already returned one for the same reason, so why wasn't that caught the first time? It's difficult to say because we expect you to be smart enough to do the first step in the instruction manual without creating an escalated complaint. Used to work in a computer store. Someone asked me once if a mouse mat would work with Windows 7. I worry about some people on this planet. Well, did it work? Was there an update they had to install? Back when checks were popular, an older lady mistakenly wrote her check to Walmart when she was actually shopping in Kmart. Instead of making the correction, she wanted to argue that she was shopping in a Walmart and that Kmart had gone out of business many years ago. On checks we had an old lady that used to come in and write out checks to dollar store, not actually naming any store, just the generic term for what type of store she was in. On being in the wrong place they do this with returns, too. I cannot accept your Family Dollar receipt to return an item at Dollar General. I was a Maytag repairman. A customer brought in a multicolored felt mat and asked for a new one. I had to explain that was lint from the lint trap. I couldn't keep a straight face reading this, much less keeping a straight face if I heard it. The elevator had a sign that read "out of order." Customer asked if it was out of order on all of the floors. That's just wrong on so many levels. I once had a lady that wanted fresh dried fruit. I took her to the dried mango, banana chips, etc. No, they wasn't it. I took her to the raisins and figs. Nope. Outbid ideas. I took her to the fruit preserves. Oh, there it was. Grape jelly. She wanted grape jelly. Take me to the wettest dried fruit you have, my good man. I had to explain 3 for 2. If you bought 2, you could get a third one free. They couldn't understand it. It was really bizarre. Meanwhile, I once had to explain to a customer that for buy 2 get 1 free you have to buy 2. The free one doesn't count. I, as a Walmart stocker, do not control the chemicals inside kids' toys. This goes for pretty much all store level positions within retail. We don't control a goddamn thing. We don't control the validity of your coupons, the prices of things, what items are sold, whether or not we have an item in stock, that the website said we had 3 and now we have 0, the prices at other stores, things you think you saw in a flyer, the fact that you don't want the thing you purchased, return policy, opening and closing hours, how many people are working, how many people were in line before you got there, or any other stupid thing a person might decide to complain about. And yet, some people will walk up to you, making minimum wage, and go off on you like you're the CEO. Putting that washing machine on the roof of your Golf is a bad idea. No exaggeration. It happened. I saw shit like this on the freeway a couple days ago. I was staring at them through my windshield like I was looking at a UFO. I was trying to figure out how the hell they got all this stuff onto the top of their car. It was like a full couch and oven or washer. I couldn't see the openable side on an older kind of compact car, along with some other items all tied down. It made me think of Mr. Bean. It was stupid impressive. As a cashier, when someone is paying cash, hey, if you can give me a penny or a nickel, I can give you a whole paper dollar back as change. If your total was $19.10 and you gave me a $20, give me $20.10 and I can give you a dollar bill for change rather than you carrying pesky spare change around. This was back in the late 90s or early zeros. I know this confused people back then. It would totally explode someone's brain now. There have been plenty of times where I, the customer, had to explain this concept to the cashier. The amount of times I had to explain that any euros can be spent the same in any country that accepts euros and there aren't separate or specific notes for France, Germany, Greece, Spain, Austria etc. It's scary. You don't have pound euros, franc euros, lira euros and mark euros? Customer, what's the difference between the 17-inch monitor and the 19-inch monitor? Me, 2 inches and $40. Customer, but what's the difference? Me, this one is bigger by 2 inches, measured diagonally, and more expensive by $40. Customer, no, but what's the difference? This went on for several minutes. He left without making a purchase. Magic like bright rectangle big, other rectangle small. Big rectangle more paper rectangles, small rectangle less paper rectangles. The number of customers to whom I've had to explain the difference between left and right is greater than 0. These have all been adults. I wish I were kidding. I've known since I was young the difference between left and right. I didn't really know it until I started driving and it became very important to always know the difference between left and right. I can't imagine someone who has a driver's license not knowing the difference. A coupon for a free gift with purchase, mailed out in April, said now the 15th of May. Customer came in June looking for his free gift and was pissed we didn't have it anymore. He kept saying but it says now. Customer's an idiot, but so is whoever designed the coupon. It's always now. May as well have said today only. That the ice cream they brought in for a refund was 1. Empty. 2. They didn't have a receipt. 3. It was the own brand of a different supermarket.